What's going on, guys? Brad Bitcoin here with you again today for another HashFlare video. Today I'm going to show you how much I'm making on HashFlare, and then I'm going to show you the best reinvestment / compounding strategy that you can have to maximize your earnings on this platform. So first thing, we have to make a few assumptions in order to make these somewhat accurate calculations. So the first assumption that we need to make is that the price is going to stay relatively similar. So you can see here the price was recently increased. 1 terahash is now looking at $220. Now HashFlare has done this many times in the past. Back in September it was up to $300 for each terahash, and they've always brought it back down. But let's just assume right now that they don't bring it back down, that the price is going to stay at $220 American for each terahash. Okay, another assumption that we have to make is that it's a 1-year contract. Now, since we're on HashFlare, we already know it's a 1-year contract, but if you're using the same calculation for another cloud mining website, then you may have to adjust your calculations based on the contract length. So we're assuming that you're going to invest, and then 365 days later, you're going to just run away. So next assumption that we need to make is that the price of Bitcoin will increase in correlation to the difficulty of mining Bitcoin increasing. So again, that's impossible to predict. We don't know exactly what Bitcoin's price is going to be 365 days from now. We also don't know what the Bitcoin mining difficulty is going to be 365 days from now. So as you can see, like, mining difficulty will decrease the amount of revenue that you create. But in terms of US dollars, at least, the Bitcoin price will increase the amount of money that you're making through each mining contract. So we're just going to assume that everything will stay linear. We're going to assume that Bitcoin will increase in correlation with the Bitcoin mining difficulty increasing as well. Again, this could end up making you more money over the long term if Bitcoin increases more exponentially than Bitcoin mining does, but it could also, the opposite could happen as well, and you could make less money over time. So let's get into my personal account here. I mentioned that the price increased yesterday, and I thought my plan was to hold off for a week or so, see if they brought down the price again, or if there was any announcement on bringing down the price again, and then I would start reinvesting. But I completely forgot that I had this function enabled here, this reinvest, that automatically reinvests your Bitcoin for you. I forgot that I had it enabled, and I just purchased, without even knowing, about 2 terahashes of power. So this is based on about 72 terahashes of power, this revenue forecast here on the right hand side. With 72 terahashes, I'm now looking at around $152 a day in revenue, about $1,000 a week, $4,500 a month, $27,500 every 6 months, and over $55,000 in a year. So now let's get on to some calculations. Now, this is boring stuff for most people, but for people like me, this is very interesting, and I'm going to show you the best reinvestment strategy to maximize your profits. So let's assume let's assume you're buying 100 terahashes for $22,000. So we need to see the break-even point to even get started. So we'll go to CoinWarts, go down to Bitcoin mining calculator. We're going to type in 100 terahashes, zero power cost, pool fees about 17%, although mine yesterday were only 12.5%, but we're going to be conservative with our calculations and say we're going to say 17%. So 22,000 on hardware costs, calculate it, and break-even point, you're looking at around 105 days. It was previously 66 days. 105 days is still great, although it's just less fantastic than it was before, right? So a little bit less than 1% every single day, right? Exactly 1% a day would break even at exactly 100 days. So that's over 0.9% for sure, but let's just assume a break-even point of about 105 days. Let's say it's about 1%. So with that $22,000 investment, you'll end up within a 1-year period with about $76,000. So it's about triple and a half your money, not quite 4 times the amount, but about triple and a half your initial investment. And this is without reinvesting or compounding. So let's go over here to our Excel spreadsheet here. and I'll zoom this in a little bit so you can see it. And let's assume an initial investment of $1,000. Okay, so this is just a even number, it's just easy to compare. So we're gonna say $1,000 investment. Okay, so the next day we're gonna make 1% on that. So we'll say A1 times 1.01. And the next day our hash power value will have a value of $1,010. So now we can just copy and paste from there. The next day we'll get an extra $10.10. Next day will be $10.20, $10.40, and now you're starting to see an exponential function starting to create itself. So let's just copy and paste this formula for all 365 days. And there you have it. And now I'll zoom down a little bit, and you will be able to see now that the terahash power value that we have in American dollars at the end of 365 days has a value of $37,409.30. This is with an average of 1% every single day. Now the problem with this number here is that we haven't withdrawn anything, and of course you want to withdraw something. So we're just going to work with these 365 days. Of course, once you're past 365 days, the reinvestment that you made, the initial investment that you made on day 1 will disappear from your hash power. Day 2 will disappear on day 367, right? So we're just going to act as if it's 365 days in and out. Okay, so you can see here if we go to day 180, on this day our hash power value is $5,936. If we were to make 1% off of this value, then we're making $59.30 every single day. So you can see here the first day we're making $10. Once it gets up to $2,000, we're making about $20 a day. Once it gets up to $3,000, you're making about $30 a day. Right at day 180, if I can get there, we're making almost $60 a day. So let's just type this in. We're going to type in equals $59.36 every single day, and we're going to have this profit. So we're going to assume that after day 180 we are not going to reinvest anything. We're going to start withdrawing. So for the next 185 days, because 365 subtract 180 is 185. So if we were to start subtracting from there, we're making $10,981. So you can see just through 6 months of reinvesting, you've already gotten way more than you would have gotten before. You can see here you're getting about triple and a half your value, and on this you've multiplied it almost 11 times. So if we go down even further, let's say we go to 300 days, and we'll type in 300, so with 65 days left in the year, and we're multiplying that by $195.92. That's what we're getting every single day if we reinvest for 300 days. What does that equal? That equals a value of $12,734 that you will get within those last 65 days of the year. Now, I've gone through all the calculations of every single day, and you want to know what the magic number is? It's 265. That's the magic number. Reinvest for 265 days, withdraw for the last 100 days. So you can see here on day 265, we're making an average of 138.3, let's say 0.31 cents every day. So $131.31 every single day. Multiply that by 100 days of withdrawals, and it gets us $13,831 by the end of the year. So you can see here at 6 months, looking at around 11,000. You can see here at 300 days, about 10 months, looking at 12,700. The magic number is 265 days. Withdraw for the last 100 days. You'll end up with a profit of $13,831. So pretty good there, multiplying your investment almost 14 times. Now keep in mind that we did have to make a few assumptions to come to the conclusion that that is the best reinvestment strategy. Also keep in mind, like, this doesn't count anything like commissions or anything like that. And I do highly recommend that you try and get the word out there, try and get yourself some commissions. It really does help build up your hash power. And feel free to spam your referral link in the comments below. I have no problem with it. This similar strategy can work for BitConnect as well. BitConnect is not quite 1% per day. We're looking at a little bit lower interest rates because of that 1.6% cap. So we're looking at around 0.84 to, let's say, about 0.8 to 0.9. But the fact that BitConnect gives out a capital release after a certain amount of time sort of makes up for the fact that their interest rates are a little bit lower right now. So you could still say it's about around 1%, and you can still have a similar strategy on BitConnect as well. And even when you get the capital release, it doesn't matter. You can throw it right back into your active investments, and it's just exactly the same as if it never left your account in the first place. I'm sticking to HashFlare right now. I'm still reinvesting on the dummy account on BitConnect, but for right now, I'm feeling a little safer on HashFlare. I still believe that BitConnect is a very safe investment. Well, at least moderately safe. You never, it has to come to an end at some point, right? But HashFlare I do look at as a little bit lower risk as of right now. But I could be wrong. We'll see what the future holds, and we'll see what happens with both platforms over the next year or so. So I thought I would share that with you today. I thought it's an interesting sort of way to make your money grow to its maximum potential. Again, you don't have to follow my advice. It's not even really advice. I'm just showing you some calculations that are working out for me. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. I will see you again tomorrow night for another video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.